India with Sabode, but I know India has the risk with I can't go with my breathing issues and stuff. As long as I have my breathing issues, I can't, because I know the air quality and everything, it'll probably make me real sick, and I just can't risk that. But I want to go somewhere with Sabode, like on a vacation, somewhere maybe like Bali or South Africa. Those are the two places that I always thought about going. Anyways, I want to go on some holistic healing journey where I can like just detox my body and go on like a week just like, you know, like one of those things. Like, I believe in that. I believe in some holistic healing here. So I want to find a better lifestyle for myself than medication. I'm sick of meds. I'm sick of it. Now, don't get me wrong, TPN is considered meds, and I can't live without it, because I survive off of TPN for medical reasons that cannot be changed, that cannot be wished away or holistically healed, because I was born with an actual, like, scientifically medical reasoning for why my body's the way it is, so I can't get rid of the TPN. But I can get rid of all the other meds and, like, find other alternatives. I'm going to show you something right now, an alternative that I've been using lately to try and help with. So lately, I've been having really bad leg pain, and it's only been, like, recent within this past year that I started having really bad leg pain and joint pain in my knees because of my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So I found this. I'm going to show you what it is. Some creams that I recommend. So this one is, I found this at like a Family Dollar. I'm like, this stuff actually work pretty good. So this one is just general relief. It is a pure Epsom salt body cream, lavender, calming, relaxing. Yeah, that's that. It's pretty basic. Epsom salt is really good for sore muscles. And then I found this too. I was like, wow, what a steal. This one is a Hydrocana CBD body cream, quench and smooth with CBD full spectrum hemp extract and C60 fullness. This is what it looks like. I need to see, going there, that store is like one of those things where you see something on a shelf and then you may never see it again. So I'm gonna have to go online to try to like find these things again. I'm probably just gonna buy it online for now on, or try some other ones too. But these two, I actually mix them together and I put it all over my legs, all over my body, like multiple times a day. I think it does something. I'm just gonna believe that it does something. If anything, makes me smell super good and makes my skin luscious like a little baby bun. Literally, this makes me feel like a newborn baby. My whole body feels like a newborn baby. So anyways, it smells so good too. Like, they both smell really good, but when mixing them together, super good. So this one's a very thicker base, like very, very creamy. This one's a little more like gel watery based, and so I mix them together. It has the perfect texture and the perfect scent. Yeah, I love it. So I've been working on that, trying to find holistic stuff. If you guys have any recommendations, I've also considered acupuncture, because it's been recommended. Tell me what you guys think of acupuncture, because I'm terrified. I'm terrified. I don't think I can. But if I have a lot of people say that it's worth it to try it, I will try it for you guys. I will try it. I will. I don't try new things, because especially something like that sort. But if enough people vote on it, I will try it for you guys. I'm going to do a poll. We're going to do a poll. I'm going to put it out there. We're going to see if I've reached a certain goal of how many people want me to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to film it too. Okay, just to prove that I'm going to do it, I have to make sure I film it, or I'm not going to do it other than filming it. So anyways, how did you meet Sabode? A question everyone always asks. There is an interview out right now. You can go into my stories. You can click on my stories and click chapter 1, and you'll see all our journey there. You'll see, and you'll find your answer. So we are in process of doing some more media stuff right now. He's obviously in India, so can't do anything together at this moment. I am trying to work on some other things behind the scenes for my personal growth. I'm working on a little certificate degree thing right now outside of my nursing stuff. I have something else going on with that I don't want to announce it. I'm going to wait because, I want to get things done. I'm more of a do than a talk person. So I'll do things, and then once I'm done it, or I'm already in a process, then I start talking about it. I never talk about things before I do it. I just do it, and then I talk about it because I'm in the process of doing it, right? So anyways, But as far as the apartment situation goes, this is something that's been in the works for the last like 6 months actually on my end, because I'm moving into a 2-bedroom apartment. I've decided to upgrade to 2 bedrooms so that I can have extra room for Sabode to come over the weekends, and so I can have a room for my family to visit, because I'm not from here, and it really irks me that I can't have my family visit me because I don't have room. So my sister is probably going to be coming out here later this year. My biological sister, she's on the East Coast in Virginia, where I'm from, trying to bring her out here, for her birthday. So yeah, this stuff in the works, and it's going to come in perfect because now we get to spend more time together, we get more opportunities, and to be independent. So I am just as independent on my own as Sabode is on his. So people need to understand that life is not what you think it is on the other side of the screen. Yeah. Harry Potter. Dumbledore, Dumbledore, oh, Dumbledore. Who knows that video? Who knows that video? Okay, but are you really positive that you want to get married? Well, I can't be, answer that right now because, the question hasn't been asked yet. And the ring doesn't exist yet. But if it comes to that question, absolutely yes. Of course. That's the answer. I love Sabode. I already know. I'm falling in love with him. I'm head over heels for him. I've never felt this way ever before. I've never been a crush girl. I've never been a fangirl. None of that. Ever. To any celebrity or any person ever. I've thought that I loved someone. I've thought that I've had feelings for them. I've thought that I've crushed on them or I've been into them. But there's always a part of me just didn't click with anybody. But I have dated people in those situations where it wasn't legit. Which is kind of more I think they love me, and I feel like this is love, and it's not. So, and then you'll get hurt. So, that's my situation with love. This is my first time being in love, just he, I think, was in love with Rachel, but got hurt. Much like I thought that I was in love with my ex and got hurt. So we connect on that level as well, emotionally, from being hurt by someone we thought loved us and we were in love with, we thought. So, anyways, yeah. You and Sabode make a cute couple. I know. I love Sabode. When did you find out you had autism? I was 28 years old, so I'm 29, so 28. I got diagnosed through Harbor Regional Center, and I got referred there because of abuse by my ex, who was trying to basically take not guardianship, but he wanted to be my caretaker, right? He was trying to take control over me guardianship wise, to make decisions for me, and to put me in this very unsafe situation and was taking advantage of me. And I don't want to go into much detail other than that. That is how the dependent adult abuse case started with Adult Protective Services and me, and there's more to it. There's a lot of bad stuff involved in this, and I can't say much about it. But the only thing I will say is he's no longer alive, and no, has nothing to do with me. He accidentally overdosed on drugs. They said it was an accidental thing. He's not alive. But there is a lot of things that he did to me, exploiting me on the internet. In very vile ways. So there's a lot of things. Anyone take that away from me. I'm not gonna let anyone take my happiness away, because I went from a very bad situation and I'm finally in the best possible situation in my entire life. I'm the happiest I've ever been, so I'm not gonna let anyone take that away from me, no matter what. So, anyways, moving on. Did you get adopted through foster care? I did. So I went through the foster to adopt program, me and all my siblings. I'm one of 5 kids. We were in foster care for about 3.5 years, and then we had a closed adoption, which means we're not allowed to have contact with each other. So we didn't have contact with each other for 19 years until we reunited, which is a whole nother story for another day. And I did get adopted, but I did also go back into the system when I was 16. I went to a group home, and I ended up going to Job Corps Center with my sister to study nursing so we could reconnect, which was awesome. So we both went to nursing school together. And then I started getting really sick, and I had to leave Job Corps because I just couldn't stay there and finish out the program. So then I came out here to finish my program because UCLA is where I finished. So then I have my CNA, so I don't have anything else, just my CNA. I'm trying to work on my RN, but because of my condition, I can't pursue anymore. I can't go any further in my nursing, so I'm doing something else, but I'll tell you guys about that later, because I'm doing something else in the same field of medical, but yeah. I will explain and tell you guys more, because I will graduate later this year, so in May, and I will share what I got, my degree, whatever, certificate, actually, technically certificate. So anyways, I am supposed to graduate this May. So excited. What else? Yeah, so that happened. OMG, I feel you not so much. What is TPN? Okay, TPN is, the bag's gone now. It's a big yellow bag, and TPN, it stands for Total Parenteral Nutrition, and it's basically all the nutrients that my body needs going into the line. I'll show you. This is my line. This is called my Hickman, oxygen here. This is called a Hickman catheter. It is a tunnel cath. It's tunnel catheter, and it goes into my chest. But you guys have probably seen it a bazillion times because you guys show it all the time. But it's basically like an IV that goes into my chest, and it goes up right next to my heart. Not in my heart, but right next to my heart. And it gives me all of my nutrients. Basically everything that you would get by eating, I get through my site. And the reason why is because I have multiple things wrong with me, but mainly my stomach didn't develop properly congenitally, meaning in my mother's stomach. While I was in my mom's stomach, she drank alcohol, used drugs, and my stomach and my vascular system, abdominal vascular system, didn't develop properly, so I was born with congenital birth defects. That makes sense, including a heart defect. And I was also inherited this genetic issue from my father's side. I know it's from his side because my cousin has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome like me, and that's also another issue by itself. So I was born with a hiatal hernia, which means my stomach was not inside my body. It was actually popped out of my body. And that didn't actually get corrected or fixed through surgery until 2018. And I was 24 years old at that time. So I spent 24 years of my life with my stomach not even in my body, for one. And then two, I have a compressed artery, called the celiac artery, which comes off your aorta, which comes off, and then that branches off and brings blood flow supply to your abdominal organs. So that would be your stomach first, and then everything else, your liver, your spleen, your intestines, everything. I was born with that being nearly 90% compressed. Well, actually, it became compressed over time. I wasn't born with it, so when I was born, it wasn't technically compressed. So what happened was when my body became fully grown, developed into, puberty, adulthood, at 16 years old when the symptoms presented, because my body basically my stomach didn't develop and grow with my body the way it was supposed to, right? So then when I became 16, I was 16 years old with the stomach of an infant. Does that make sense? I don't know if this makes sense to you guys. So my body grew, but my stomach and my intestines didn't. I hope that makes sense. So yeah. So as my body was growing, because my stomach was outside my body, my stomach can't grow because it's outside my body. I mean, it's in my body, but popped not inside where it's supposed to be, the hernia. So then when I became an adult, 16, when I was fully developed, oh my God, your stomach didn't develop. Your stomach didn't develop at all. Your stomach's not even inside. It's popped out. That's what happened. So yeah, so basically my stomach didn't even develop. So and so then from there I found out about I had my AVM, the arteriovenous malformation, which is another issue that in my duodenum, my stomach, there's this little knot. It's a blood vessels, tangled knot, blood vessels and arteries, all tied up in a little knot, and it ruptured. It had an aneurysm. It popped, and I was bleeding, and so that's how they figured all this out. They went in. That was the other thing that happened to my stomach, and so now, yeah. That's it's all complicated. I don't even know if you guys even understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain it the best I can. But all of that. And then on top of that, my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome causes malabsorption issues. But regardless, even without the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, my stomach it doesn't work, and my stomach cannot digest. So, yeah, basically. But Ehlers-Danlos syndrome causes issues with the body's ability to absorb nutrients through the tissue. So my stomach and my intestines is tissue that has to absorb food and has to take it in to digest it. So since I have faulty connective tissue that can't absorb things properly, I can't absorb nutrients. I can't digest food. So yeah. So the nutrients has to go directly into my bloodstream because it does not require any connective tissue, your skin, your body, to absorb anything through the skin. So the nutrients going directly into my bloodstream. So that should make enough sense to you now. This is why I need TPN for the rest of my life, because this is what's going to keep me alive. I can't absorb through a tissue, so I have to get nutrients straight into my blood, and it's no different than getting blood transfusions for the rest of your life, or dialysis for the rest of your life, or whatever. It's honestly it's the same. It's getting TPN for the rest of my life. It's like getting an infusion for the rest of your life, and that it is what it is. It's what I got to do to live, to survive. So. And if this is what's going to keep me alive, then this is what's going to keep me alive for the rest of my life. I'm going to do what I got to do. I mean, I got a life to live, and I want to live. So I didn't make it this far to not live. I thrived. Developmental delay, failure to thrive is out the window now because I'm clearly perfectly up to par now. I've finally caught up with life. I finally caught up with life. There, I'm finally there. I'm finally an adult. Finally made it, and now I have a adulting to do. Now I have a life to live. I get to finally be an adult. It's exciting. So yeah, anyways, TPN, it's gonna be my lifelong best friend. It's gonna go to the grave with me. Wow, that's a good cream. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that explains everything. Acupuncture is amazing. It hurts for a second and stops. Tattoos are scarier than acupuncture. Fun fact, I have 7 tattoos, and I got numbed for every single one. Because I'm a baby. I don't take the pain. I was like, I'm not gonna induce pain on myself. I'm gonna numb it. So yeah, we numbed it. What's your nursing stuff? My nursing stuff, well, I went to Job Corps Center with my sister when we reunited after aging out of foster care, because we actually another story for another day, but I was homeless for a while when I aged out of foster care. I was homeless because a lot of times that's what happens to foster kids when you don't have a support system. So I didn't have a support system once I left and went to the group home, went to Job Corps, and then I became sickly, and then I didn't have a stable place to stay because so I stayed with my sister for a little bit, but then I ended up realizing that if I don't go see better doctors, I'm gonna die. Literally, I woke up one day, I was like, if I stay here in Virginia, and I keep seeing these bogus doctors who are missing something here, very obviously, because I knew something was really wrong with me. I felt like I was dying. I was like, I gotta get out. I gotta get out of here. And so that's when I took every last penny I had, and I booked a flight. I did some research, obviously, before I came out here, and I found that UCLA has the best doctors. Mainly, I just Googled. I said, well, what's the best hospital in America? What's the top hospital for GI stuff, gastrointestinal? Because specifically, that's what I need. A good gastrointestinal. So, LA is ranked the number one hospital. So, like, that's where I'm going. I didn't go to that one particularly, but I did go to UCLA basically, and that's how I came here, and that's how I got diagnosed the first month that I was living here with a CT scan. How come they missed that my whole life? A CT scan, and they knew exactly what was wrong with me. How did you miss this? Anyways, I found out I got diagnosed with MALS the first month I moved here, and I went into a shelter program. A lot of people don't know this. I was living in a shelter for 2.5 years in Skid Row. The Skid Row. The Skid Row. It was a place called the Weingart Center. I still have my little card somewhere in my house. I hope it's there. I hope it didn't get tossed, because that was like a sentimental value thing for me, because that was a journey. It's probably somewhere. I hope it is. Maybe not, because a lot of stuff got thrown out of my house. Anyways, but I stayed at this place called the Weingart Center for 2.5 years, in a shelter program there that they had for people who were disabled, like me, had disabilities, or in my case, physical health. So it's a program called DHS, which is Department of Health, basically Department of Health, because I have a medical condition. So there's two. There's DHS and DMH, so Department of Health Services and Department of Mental Health. I was in the Department of Health because of my physical stuff. So, and because of my compromised immune system and autoimmune issue, I am not allowed to co-inhabit. Does that make sense? I can't share, basically. I have to be isolated. So I can't have a roommate, or I can't live with other people because of my condition. So the coolest thing is that this shelter had a program for people in my for my situation that were like, if you're homeless and you have cancer, because yes, there are people who are homeless and have cancer and other things. So I basically had my own little dorm. I had a little dorm in this at the very top, the very what do they call it? The penthouse, the very top floor, the 7th floor, the very top, where I had the coolest view of LA in there. But I had a little room by myself. I had a little single-size bed, not even a twin, single-size bed. Had a locker, like a school locker in there. It had a little tiny little dresser with like 4 drawers, and like a chair, one single chair. And the room was so tiny that it's like a huge walk-in closet. It wasn't like a full room, just like a huge walk-in closet. So yeah, anyways, I wish I would have filmed and stuff, but I did. The thing is that the camera I filmed on, someone stole it. So I never got to really do a little story or anything about that, because at the time I was going through a really rough time that I didn't want to document any of it. At the time, I wanted no documentation of what was going on, because all I wanted to do was get through the living hell, get past it, and then not revisit it, but because of trauma. But now I want to share this part of my story. I want you guys to know what's been through, but it took a lot. And then so when I got my surgery in 2018, my first surgery, with the MALS and my heart and everything, I left the shelter because I'd been there for 2.5 years. I checked into the hospital for my surgery. The shelter said, you cannot come back here when you're done with surgery. You cannot recover here. We do not take patients back. Well, you have to go straight into your apartment. When you leave, you go to your designated housing security, go where they put you. So that's what happened. I had my surgery, and then I was there for a week or something. Walking out of the hospital after having my first major operation, I walked into my very first apartment by myself, on my own. I was there, living alone by myself, in a brand new, huge apartment by myself, 7 incisions on my body, and it was a crazy, crazy journey. And my journey has only just flourished from there. So yeah, and I'm still currently in the same apartment that I was in that time, and I still live by myself, but I've been eligible now to move to a 2-bedroom because of my need for care. I need a caregiver, and more frequently and overnight I get a lot of procedures done on a regular basis. Like, I'm getting procedures, so many procedures, because I have to, literally. So, and this is a good opportunity for me to, like, just have, yeah, like I said, options to have my family visit, options to have Sabod come over. And I know that my situation isn't, like, ideal, because a lot of people just think that I'm maybe just living off the government welfare, but that's not really how it is, you guys. It's not. Like, I'm disabled. I don't have my family like Sabod does to just provide, you know? Like, I have a very different situation. I did not grow up rich. Like, I was not adopted into a rich family. No. We lived in an apartment. I watched my foster parents adopt me, become my adopted parents, and I watched their lives deteriorate over a nasty divorce over years and years and years. And, like, what I witnessed is, like, something that just changed my perspective on love. Made me think that love was not what it was, and that, like, it seemed terrible. Like, and I would be scared to be in love. Like, that's what it did to me. So, and then from there, like, we did live in a decent, nice family home, like, for the first maybe, like, 6 years of our lives. Me and my older brother got adopted together, but then when that happened, everything fell apart, and we lost everything, pretty much, because of what the situation. So, I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment with my dad and my brother, and, like, I was not in a good situation. Like, anyone thinks that I grew up just in a bad situation when it comes to finances, because no, I never had financial security ever my entire life. Stability was something I just didn't know, because I never had a stability. So, like, for once in my life, I have stability. I have safety. I have security. I have stability. I have financial support. I have a support system. It may not be like a family, but, like, I have, you know, the government assistance that I have, and the supports that are in place for me for services. I have everything that I never imagined I would have to help me be independent and live on my own with that support. And as far as my support needs and my autism goes, I am a level 2. There are levels to autism, and I'm a level 2 because of my substantial support needs to live independently. So, I hope that a lot of this clears things up, because I totally enjoy talking to you guys and telling you guys everything, just being open and honest, because I'm a completely open book. I'm very, like, it's nothing to hide. I have no reason to lie about anything. I'm full on honest about everything, and if anything, I've been told that I'm too honest and I give too much information, and it's gonna get me in trouble. But that's how we are. That's how autistic people are. They just say everything, their whole life story, to a stranger, because they don't know how to filter what you should and shouldn't say, and then some things come out very blunt and rude, or some things you might not know you shouldn't be saying. So, I mean, that's typical. It's also very typical of fetal alcohol syndrome, too. So, anyways, I am who I say I am. Because I literally have no reason to say I'm anything but. Why would I just start saying something that I'm not? Like, that would just be confusing for myself, right? Like, how would I just go on with something like that if I was to start saying things about myself that weren't even true? How would I even, like, keep up with that, or without, like, confusing myself? Anyways. Do you like doing arts and crafts? I like arts and crafts, but lately I've been not really doing a whole lot of things because I'm obviously in the hospital, and I have a really bad tremor, by the way. I've been having bad tremors and shakiness and stuff, so I've been weak, and as you guys have seen recently, that I got prescribed leg braces and crutches, because I'm fine, like, I'm mobile, I can do things, but I am having a currently I'm having a pretty significant progression in my symptoms of my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome in a short period of time. So within the last year, I had a pretty big progression or a jump in the severity of my symptoms, meaning the pain, I have something called dystonia, which is involuntary muscle contractions where my body starts convulsing. But I mean, like, intensely, where, like, it looks like if you're standing on stage and you're terrified and your legs are, like, shaking like that, that's what it kind of looks like. So these are mobility supports are for, for my safety. And due to this as well, I also have a curve. My spine, I'm having degenerative changes of my spine that they've seen on scans lately. And my spine is starting to curve. I'm starting to get too much of an arch in my back. And so my gait, which means the way that I'm standing, is not good. So the crutches are supposed to help me, like, and it's because I'm in so much pain that I can't even sometimes just keep my body the way straight up and down. Like, I'm in pain, so I'm like kind of bent over sometimes, and so that just helps. Anyways, no, I don't need to use it. Like, it's not like I have to use it, but that's the thing about mobility aids. You don't have to use anything, but do you want to be stumbling across the floor and, like, quivering my legs and in pain? Because even using the crutches alleviates some of that pressure off each leg as I'm walking because of the pain. And you guys, like, people don't know what we go through. Like, our pain is our pain. I'm going to smile at you. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to make you believe that there's not a single thing wrong with me. Because that's how I am. Because I don't want anyone to think there's anything wrong with me. Because the thing is that I have a condition, but that doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. It's just how I am, who I am, but it's not wrong. It's not negative. It's not wrong. That's my vision on this thing. I don't like the negativity of what's wrong with you, or like, why do you need that? Like, you don't need that. But the thing is that if I didn't need it, a doctor wouldn't prescribe it to me based off my assessment and my medical need and my insurance to approve it. You guys know how these insurance crap work? Because they have to go through pages and jump hurdles and all these protocols for you to get something approved. They're not just handing out money to people who just, oh, I need this, so just give it to me. No, you have to go through a whole assessment. There has to be a criteria. You have all this coding, billing and coding, and approval, diagnosis. You have to have a diagnosis to prove the reason what it needed for. Like, there's no way to fake this, is there? No. How did you meet your boyfriend? Go on my stories and click the chapter 1, and you will find your answer. There's an interview tagged in there, and then check out chapter 2, because we are going into our second chapter now, and some new things are going to be coming up. We support you. Thank you. I love all my supporters. I will never call you guys fans just because I don't like the word fan. You guys are my supporters. You're here with me side by side. You're not below me. You're right next to me. We're all supporting each other. So we're all supporters, right? I'll call you guys my warriors too, because I know there's a bunch of you out there too. Bunch of my warriors. What are some things that make you happy? Sabode! Duh! He makes me so happy. Literally. Like, even thinking of him just makes me so happy. Like, he's got the cutest little, like, chunky monkey face and smile like me. Like, we cannot even, it's not possible for us to even think about each other, like, telepathy-wise, without grinning all from ear to ear, because that's how much we are so happy with each other. Just thought of even just seeing him in my mind.